Hi, I'm Wallace. I am the founder and CEO of Above Board Financial, and in this video, I'm going to talk about accidental death and dismemberment insurance, also called AD&D. If you're watching this, it's probably because you are wondering about whether you want to get AD&D yourself, either as an individual policy, or maybe you're trying to figure out workplace benefits, or perhaps you're considering adding it on to a life insurance policy. And in all those scenarios, the right answer to the question, should I get AD&D, is usually no. And there's an exception to that rule that I'll get into, but you might be surprised to hear me say that usually I would say you shouldn't do it, because as an independent insurance broker, my company and I could totally try to sell you AD&D, but I don't like it as a strategy because I like to focus on insurance strategies that are good value and actually show up for you and do what you need them to do in those kind of worst case scenarios that sometimes come up in life. And with AD&D, it doesn't pay out in the majority of situations where the insured person actually ends up dead or disabled. And that is a huge problem. So, for example, let's imagine there's a dad who's a primary breadwinner and he's married to his wife, and together they have two kids. Now, if he dies, are the widow and kids going to need no money so long as he died from a heart attack or a brain aneurysm? Like they only need money if he was killed in a car crash? Like, of course not, right? Like that family, that surviving family needs money if suddenly his paychecks disappear because he's now dead before retirement. It doesn't matter if it was a car crash or a heart attack. And so that's why he needs real life insurance, not AD&D. Similarly with disability, right? Like AD&D does not pay out in the vast majority of scenarios that would leave a person disabled. It's a little bit like if you told me that you want to buy a car because you need a way to commute to work and get your kids around. And I came back to you and I was like, oh, like, well, there's this motorized lawnmower you can buy. It's real cheap, a lot cheaper than a car. Like that would still be a terrible solution to the problem you're trying to solve. And even though the price tag is low, it wouldn't be good value because it doesn't actually do what you need in your situation. And so that's kind of like the lawnmower is kind of like AD&D coverage. I'm just usually like, what is the point of this thing? So let me get to the one exception where I would say maybe in that scenario, AD&D could make sense. And thankfully, this is not most people's situation. But if you're in a situation where you need life insurance, like you already have loved ones who rely on your income or care you provide for free, and you just truly cannot qualify for any individual life insurance. And on top of that, like you've checked at your job and there are no options for getting actual life insurance through work, then in that situation, maybe some AD&D is like a better than nothing approach. So come visit us at aboveboardfinancial.com to explore your options and get straightforward, honest advice, and we'd be happy to help you.